You just mentioned that you make PPTs, you make PDFs, and then go to and meet to the client and give them the initial shock value.
We focused on a problem rather than an area, but we've had a few fintech companies work with us simply for links.
Thursday was the most productive, and Monday was a complete waste. You've been actually journaling on Fridays, right?
We'll discuss like what's working, what's not working, who's performing on the team, who is basically slacking a little bit, like how can we empower this person to get back in. And
I'm asking a lot of questions I should not ask actually. I am an investor in a SaaS company. It is like a productivity app. It helps you reduce your screen time.
high authority sites is good for a SaaS brand.
3 years ago, website which I made surprisingly made $500 this month after an update which was dead.
I'm really interested to see what happens when AI browsers come out. There'll be a Google update soon and it will all change again.
Correct. Do you work in a nation-based website? Do you work in a larger area? Do you work in a city-based website when you talk about? So how do you imagine that? What is my geolocation or geo coverage? What would be your proximity when you talk about a website in Rank and Rent? Do you make a website based on whole nation, just a small city, a town, maybe a very small location? How do you do that?
Generally, we've done nationwide so far. Like we're all of our rank and rents are nationwide. We haven't gone after local keywords. We bought a few domains highly targeted at cities in the UK, but most of our rank and rents are basically just for the whole UK audience. And also the US as well. Like we have one operating there as well. So this kind of we haven't niched down more than that and found it to be successful yet. We've tried, but like maybe we just didn't put in as much effort into it, and it was a very different niche. So maybe we just didn't really grasp it as much as like our current expertise. But yeah, that's how we do it.
Okay. Now I'm smiling because I have too much questions because I also been working, but I'll ask my problems now. So do you actually work on global keywords? Let's take an example of accounting, right? Because you mentioned that you've been working in accounting. I've noted it down. So let's take that example, random. Okay. So in when we talk about accounting, so is it like accounting firms and in a nation-based website, do you like make pages for all cities or all locations? Do you have that kind of multi-location setup in your website, or do you just target global keywords like best accounting firm in the UK? Do you do that, or do you like make pages for London, Brisbane, all that?
Ours is more like kind of problem. Like we'll pick an area of accounting which is highly searched and it's a problem, and we'll build the whole website around this problem.
And that's a global website then. That's a global website.
Not global, as in like it will only be for the UK because it will be like the UK tax system. But like, yes, it will be driving people to the website around a certain area. Like, for example, like let's say for law firms, right? Like you would just pick like divorce, for example. For accounting, you might pick like, something to do with taxes. Or like corporation tax. Yeah, we kind of do it more on this basis. Like we find highly searched transactional terms and we kind of build the site around that. But we also have other sections because once we become an authority in this, we can actually like have other sections on the site that talk about other things and drive traffic from other parts of like accounting and stuff. But usually how we've done it is we focused on a problem rather than an area. So we would focus like on a type of lawyer rather than like family lawyers like Dartford or something, .co.uk or something like that. Very exact matchy domain. Or divorce lawyers Manchester or something like that.
But there's a location aspect to it, like law, like family lawyer Manchester would be targeted only to Manchester, right?
Yeah, it would be, yeah. You'd go and figure out like if there is a search term for this in.
Of course. That's the first thing to do. Yeah, search demand. But you also kind of like work for a specific problem, maybe divorce we talk about. It's like the problem, maybe someone is searching for an informational part of things that is targeted to the whole UK. Maybe then in that case, you're taking leads from whole UK. In a specific category. So the two ways I am concluding it you work is that you pick one very specific thing out of a big niche, like from law, you pick a specific thing, like example, a divorce or specific kind of scenario of divorce, like let's maybe more laser focused, right? And then for that, you are telling maybe UK laws on that. Maybe you're talking about how to get away with whatever with that. You giving the whole topical authority on that specific thing, on
Yeah,
that divorce section, or maybe specific parts of divorce, like what are your rights, what is the right of a woman, what is the right of a man, all those stuff. Who takes the kids? I'm just taking random examples, okay? Because you're telling people, because the laws of UK is countrywide, right? So that website would be a countrywide website, and leads from anywhere would be valid to it. That would be a nation-based website,
it would.
correct?
Yeah, it would.
And the second scenario, option two, is that you make a location based website, which is like Divorce Lawyers Manchester. That
Yeah,
is, of course, based on Manchester.
yeah,
And then in Manchester, you just talk about divorce lawyers and the sub services they are providing in Manchester. The
sure.
location is proximities, of course, Manchester. You
Yeah,
might mention that you serve all across UK, but in that is more the new method, the location based method. The other one was your informational based method in the first one, which was more informational UK based. And that's just the last question to this, if you were comfortable answering this, is in the first model, which was the whole country based. Do you also make location pages that you serve these locations, or you do not do that?
we have done it. We also haven't noticed that they've necessarily outclassed like our actual service pages specifically. So it's not a bad way to go. We haven't done it at scale, but like we're concentrating more on like the keywords of like the services, at a national level. So yeah, we're concentrating more on that. But you could go down the location page route. We've done location pages for very similar websites, but they're clients. We've done it for them. We know that's an avenue of going down, but like we haven't done it on our sites in the same way.
You know what? I mean, anybody listening to this podcast, if understands this thing, it's really going to work for it. We've given a lot of information, what I believe, right? Do you want me to cut these?
Well, I'm just telling you how it is, There'll be
Yeah.
there'll be a Google update soon and it will all change again. So
Correct. Actually, I must tell that things probably still work. It's just that you just change the weights of things are different. Like if a weight of link is like maybe 8 out of 10, it would change to 6 out of 10. And then
yeah,
another update would be maybe again 8 out of 10. I've been maintaining 400 websites in Rank and Rent. I have seen that my 3 years ago website, which I made, is just surprisingly made like $500 this month after an update, which was dead, and it's doing pretty well. So we opened it up, we updated everything, we maintained it, like it's okay, it's good to go.
it must feel amazing when that happens.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
yes. I pop a champagne.
And you must, yeah,
I
you
pop
must.
a,
I would definitely pop a champagne.
I'll show you if this time we meet. I'll show you my new portfolio. It's amazing. Maybe we do it online. I'll show
Yeah, I'd
you.
love to see it. I'd love to see it.
Yeah. And the second thing is expired domains. Now my question is, do you work with domains which have expired? Maybe you find them, you take them in auctions, or maybe you just work on fresh EMDs. What is your approach on that?
Generally, we work on fresh EMDs. Yeah, generally.
Because you need keywords and that kind of.
Yeah,
I understand.
we're very much into that. We go exact match domains. I think they still work really well.
Yes.
You
Yeah,
just
they
have
do.
to be a bit patient. You got to put in the work with the
Yes.
content. You need to build some links like consistently,
Yes.
and
Correct.
really it can happen fast.
Specifically the citations and all that stuff, right?
True, citations and also like guest posts.
Now, a very important question to this is in Rank and Rent. I think probably the last question, because you've mentioned everything. This is the last question, I would say. Address. Now, address, how do you figure that out? Like, do you just fake it up? Do you use a co-working address? Do you use a PO box? I'm asking a lot of questions I should not ask actually, but it's okay now.
Addresses at the beginning, we were using like places that we actually lived.
Mhm.
But when you scale, you can't really do that. So yeah, we have a provider who can provide us with addresses.
So use original, genuine addresses.
Yeah, we use original addresses. Yeah, we use genuine addresses. Like they are locational. You can send that. You can send a letter there.
Do you think that I have an experience in this? Do you think I'm asking stupid questions? Anything you have, any feedback
These
on
are
this?
questions a lot of people ask, like who know about SEO and want to get into Rank and Rent. But at the same time, a lot
Oh.
of SEOs they don't like to like share. They like to take you to a certain point. But yeah, not
Mm.
all of them will tell you like, oh yes, that is the.
Yes. Yes. So
Yeah,
thank you for answering these questions. You know what? For the audience, this is a lot of gold mine.
yeah,
I've done a lot of podcasts, and this is one of the best podcasts till now because actually you've been very much open to answering these questions. And the second is that I think the comfort level we have because we've met before and we've been discussing this thing in the past.
uh-huh.
But you've been very much open to discuss these things and take away.
That's how it is in the SEO world. Like
Yes,
you
yes,
go to an
yes, yes.
SEO event,
Mm,
everyone will talk
mm.
about everything, but like, the final thing
Yeah, that nugget, that golden nugget, that
that'll be kept
gets
behind.
lost somewhere. Yeah. Okay. Do you do outreach? You just mentioned that you make PPTs, you make PDFs, and then go to and meet to the client, and then give them the initial shock value. See. I have a
Yeah.
good recall. I remember things, and then they're like, "Oh, this is amazing. This is like we've not thought this way. We don't have to invest that much, and we can get leads. We can get leads, and then we can test the waters." And clients think that way. So, is there a specific process you follow? Do you like validate a niche? Like, how much do you invest in a website, and how do you plan that this is the website I want to start, or this is the sub niche I want to choose? Do you like check your old data? Do you use you said yeah, you use ChatGPT for that. But what exactly the process if you want to mention that you follow, and then how do you like validate that you would get leads?
At the beginning, it was like we built a few off our own back, and we scaled them without anyone knowing. And then once they were performing, once they were getting leads, we started like sending them to one of our clients. So we'd been working in this industry for ages. We knew what to build these sites around, and we saw
Mm-hmm.
kind of some other competitors doing it as well. So we
Mm-hmm.
were like, we can just do this better and at more scale than them. So this was all for the benefit of one or two clients who didn't really know it was happening.
Mm-hmm.
So then we kind of like got those rented, and then what we started to do was build like a foundation site and then do cold
Mm-hmm.
outreach to like loads of people in the industry and just tell them, hey, we're building this, it's going to be big, can we put you on the website? And when it starts performing, like we'd love to talk to you about some kind of free initial leads, this kind of thing. And there was another
Okay.
one that we built, which was a more kind of highly competitive keyword, and it's not something we could have really made work on our own. We would need a bigger budget for links and all of this kind of stuff. So that's where like we've actually turned to people for investment, and we've managed to do that like in a way that works for them once the leads start performing, in
Mm-hmm.
a way where we can actually cover the costs of what we're up to. We're more like playing the long game here, to be honest. Like we're playing the long
Mm-hmm.
game, but like at the same time we're owning all the assets. We're
Mm-hmm.
generating probably on average like significant chunks, percentages of these lead bases, like daily lead kind of inputs to these companies. Like their website will
Mm-hmm.
bring X amount of leads, and then our website will bring them a percentage of a decent percentage of what they're already getting. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like a win-win, and you can clearly see the value. Not every lead is going to be amazing, but you can clearly
Correct.
see that there's traction. There are a lot that can be kind of turned into clients, but at the same time, that's all about the internal
Mm-hmm.
sales process of the company. So we can just bring you the leads. We
Mm-hmm.
can't convert them, but we can,
Of course, of
work
course.
with you on bringing like very good leads,
And you believe in cold email outreach, right?
email outreach, and also like some LinkedIn outreach as well.
Oh, that's. Let me write it down. I will try that as well. Okay. Have you worked on directory sites, like maybe listing top 10 players of that city, and then because those I think have I in my personal experience have seen massive, especially impressions and clicks on when we are mentioning a third person,
Yeah,
maybe three, four law firms, like top 10 law divorce lawyers in
yeah.
Manchester. And then you mention everybody, and then that's kind of
Yeah.
listicle. Have you worked on such things before?
So this is like a really interesting angle of Rank Rent. I'm not going to say
Mm.
if we have any or if we don't, but like this is a great way to go.
I get it. I get that.
I think directory sites are probably one of the most powerful things you can build as long as you know how to build
Mm.
them and build them
Mm.
well.
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
I think that's a great way to go generally. Or even like
Mm.
as a personal project, building a directory site
Mm.
around
Mm.
something you're
Mm.
interested in.
So I got this idea from actually iGaming. Uh, People do slotting in iGaming mode. That like the people they mentioned this is the number one player, so that has a different charge when you put them on the website, and this is number two, number three, number four. So that is also paid differently. So have you
Yeah.
tried something in this in Rank and Rent? Maybe not.
No, not like this. Not like this. No,
Okay,
no, no.
okay. This is something I'm testing right now.
Like,
I'll tell you the results soon.
yeah.
Yeah.
You just started.
Yeah. Directories we are doing, we were testing. Actually, to be honest, because I think if we're discussing this, I must tell you this that we've been using directories as in powering up our PBNs. Basically, we are using it for like
Ah,
free sources to get power our main websites. Like why not put our websites in the top listings, like if we have like top 2 3 players, so we kind of like the domains or the we actually work on expired domains a lot. So all these 400 domains, the websites we have are expired domains actually, so we invested huge amount of money in that, auctions and all that stuff. We do not have a direct buyer to it. We do not have a direct person who can take up that lead. There are some specific niches, right? But it's a good informational. The part one you mentioned on Rank and Rent, this is a good informational piece, but there's no direct buy right now for me. So because we are not good at outreach, actually, I must tell we are not doing a lot of we are not actually doing outreach here. So we use those websites for this kind of stuff,
okay.
and then we use them as a PBN to power up our main websites. That's how we are doing Rank and Rent,
Stick.
like top 10 plumbers maybe in this city, and then
Yeah.
three of them are ourselves,
Your clients.
clients, ourselves. They are different websites, anything. I must tell you this. I don't know why, but these sites really work well because when I give you choice, I mean that this is a buffet, you have 10 things to choose from. You would be attracted to coming for a lunch on a buffet rather than taking one burger or maybe taking one dish. So I have seen people actually tend to click more on listicles and options. So we get more traffic, free traffic.
That makes sense to me. Yeah.
Now let's talk about law firms more. On law firms, let's talk about the PR. So I have been. It's not even in law firms. I've seen all the competitive industries. Like I'm into real estate a lot. I do a lot of real estate SEO, and I
Mhm.
have also seen that like where we do PR, where we are working on PR, we have seen different results. What
Yeah.
is your take on PR techniques? Do you think that it helps law firms boost their SEO? How do you do it, or how do you think of how do you plan a PR based campaign for a law firm, and how do you pitch it then?
Yeah, it's definitely really important for law firms. So there's a few different ways a law firm can capitalize on
Uh-huh.
PR. One of them is kind of
Uh-huh.
organic. So some of the law firms that we worked with, like they actually get called into like interviews a lot about specific things that are changing in the UK legal
Uh-huh.
landscape. So maybe
Uh-huh.
like a divorce law that's changing by like,
Uh-huh.
online media platform or by a journalist or
Uh-huh.
something. So asking for a link in return for that is an
Uh-huh.
important part of getting PR mentions and also
Uh-huh.
backlinks as well. So making it so understanding like the media calendar of the law firm and actually advising them as a PR agency that they should, or like getting them to include you into the communication with the journalist where you can actually negotiate the link on behalf of them and all this kind of stuff is one thing. But then also there's this like writing statistical content that basically attracts links and essentially like republishing. So if something changes like in the UK legal landscape, writing an article about it really fast and also like including like expert commentary from a solicitor on the actual website of the law firm could actually get you some links. But obviously then you've got to actually go away, and another thing, the most kind of impactful would be actually getting a digital PR individual involved, and this person will be monitoring the news and kind of injecting your opinions into the stories that are happening. So they would be monitoring the news. They would have a journalist database. They would be messaging journalists. At our agency, we have like in-house digital PR consultant who comes with us and like he basically does this for our clients. So we have we have someone who does like an actual expert commentary slash kind of newsjacking campaign for clients on demand, and generally like campaigns last about 3 months. And we will run like multiple pieces during that time. So we won't just like run one piece. We'll run like we'll actually like really monitor the news for about 6 weeks to 2 months, and we will really like go hard on writing press releases and emailing them out to journalists. So this is how we go about it. So we have the one which is like actually the lawyer being summoned for like an interview, and we are making sure that we can potentially get a backlink there. And then we have like writing actual statistical content on our own website, and then we have actual like expert commentary, newsjacking campaigns that commissioned on demand.
Alright, time for a sponsor break. This episode is proudly sponsored by Kings Digital, the marketing agency that I, your host, Gundeep Singh co-founded. At Kings Digital, we specialize into scaling businesses, optimizing growth strategies, and turning your ideas into brands that people can't stop talking about. You might be thinking self-promotion in your own podcast? Well, that's quite bold. That's because that's exactly what we do for our client. Bold strategies that bring results. So if you're a business owner or an agency wants to level up your marketing, your processes, whether it's SEO, ads, social media, performance marketing, we're building a killer brand presence for you. If you want us to audit your website or your ads campaign, just fill up the form below. We will get back to you with a full-blown SEO audit, a complete 6 to 12 months SEO roadmap tailored to your business, and a step-by-step video walkthrough breaking down exactly how to fix and scale your organic traffic. This isn't some cookie-cutter checklist. Trust me, our team spends an entire day crafting this report. Trust me, if we're good enough to sponsor ourselves, we're probably good enough to help you crush your goals. Alright, that's enough of us now. Now let's get back to the show.
So, statistical content, of course, works. And the one thing you club it with, to for the audience, I'm just breaking it down for ease. That's just statistical content. For instance, like there's a new rule change, or maybe there's a new dynamic. So there's a news that in new metrics or new analysis, we've seen that more women are into this kind of, maybe this is the law change. So anything which is related to news,
Yeah.
any new news, when you have like you remember author roundups, right? Similarly, something like that you're mentioning, right? That in your website, when you have an expert solicitor speaking on that, and immediately, actually, it's all about the timing, right? If there's a new law and you pick it up, you put it on your website, you put your opinion, official opinion, a person who's really who's actually the right person to talk about it, right? So
Yeah.
that person speaks on that, and then you can of course attract links to it, and you can use statistical content as well on the website, which attracts links from the journalists. I think that is one thing you mentioned, and that's how you do the news jacking with that, right? It's kind of similar, but that's also Harrow, right?
Harrow, yes. I mean, it is kind of similar journalist requests. Yeah, it's another
Mm-hmm.
part of providing insights.
Uh-huh.
We used to concentrate more on that. We still have like the manpower to do it, but like we're more about the individual campaigns nowadays than the Harrow
Got
side
it.
of things. Yeah.
Got it. Right. That's a smart way of doing it, rather than just, putting yourselves in the paid PR websites and just mentioning the brand. Everybody knows their PR. Many people have a miscommunication that what is PR. They just think that we get a paid backlink on a paid kind of media website, but that's not actually PR. That's like PR on, maybe as a layman, but actual PR is this, that
Yeah.
you work on smart, you do the news jacking, you actually work on good content piece, which is you take the first mover advantage on talking on that thing, giving your opinions on that thing, and then you attract, actually, because journalists needs content, they need validations, they need to use your content in their articles, and then that's how you attract links, that's how you get it done, right?
That's it. Yeah, that's it. You provide the
Amazing.
expertise, and you know
Hmm.
that you should get cited in the article.
Do you also think that you need to outreach to the journalist, or you just do it regularly, and you just kind of do it on your website? Then you, like, if you made an article, or maybe you've done a video or a podcast on a very trending topic which just happened, maybe a news on law change, and then do you submit it to places? Do you submit it to different portals? Do you submit it to anybody, or just you put it on a website and let the magic happen?
We submit it to people who have written about like similar topics or even this topic in a different way, like previously. So we
Okay,
go
so
after
you need
people.
to do that hard work.
Yeah, you need to know. Yeah, I mean, this is a proper PR thing, so they know how to locate this kind of information. They have access to the tools. They're also like very kind of constantly following the news on certain topics, also on Twitter and things like this.
Right.
Twitter's a gold mine for PR. Like you can find journalists directly there. You can reach out to them there.
Actually, we are, to be honest, not very good at this thing. We are establishing this thing right now. That is why I was asking.
Yeah.
As per our peers, so because in our industries, in our clients, we do a little PR and it works really well. In real estate, we do heavy PRs. We are establishing it in house right now. We work with partners who are very good at PR, but yes, we're trying to understand it more to get it established in house. Yeah. Okay, got it. And why do you think that digital PR, the things you've mentioned the process, why do you think that this is a no-brainer? You have to do it. Why do you think that without this, things cannot work? Is it like that?
It's not like that, but it's becoming more and more obvious that having your brand mentioned in the PR and also like in other sources, rather than just like on these websites that give you links, is actually good for like visibility and exposure, like on, AI platforms and AI overviews. It just adds authority to your brand. It's probably one of the highest forms of authority you can get, is being mentioned by like an actual really good media platform, not even with a link. Just, a mention would be good as well. Yeah, I think like you gotta kind of step up your game now if you're doing SEO and you really want to scale, and like you've got like serious clients who want to really grow. You've got to be like, giving them these kinds of options. Because chances are like their competitors are probably doing this. And, like if they're not doing it, then definitely missing out on something there. So it's not only good for like building domain authority, it's also good for general brand visibility.
Got it. Amazing. Imagine that I am a law firm. I am maybe a client who is a kind of who doesn't know anything about digital. He wants to just promote digital. Imagine this is a discovery call, okay? What would you pitch, or what would be your initial point of view in a discovery call, and you want to close me? What would you do?
Before we have the discovery call, you would have already given me like your website for like a mini audit. We would have already looked into like some of your competitors. So we would have this information before our eyes, and we'd be basically presenting this to you. So we would be telling you like the gaps, the easy wins, and also like how you can like what you can do to get featured more, like not only in Google but also like in ChatGPT for these terms and this kind of thing. So we would already have given you like something if we were going to have this discovery call. Obviously, sometimes potential clients do book calls just from like a link they've found on like your social media or something. But generally, like it would have started off with us already having a look at their current website and also some of their competitors and having this as a baseline information.
I think gaps have worked really well for us. And yes, the new trendy things like AI overviews, ChatGPT, that works really well. This is quite similar. Got it. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, now let's talk about fintech. In fintech business, what is your step-by-step process to dominate the niche? Like what is different in fintech than maybe law firms? Is it similar? Is it anything you want to mention about fintech SEO or fintech clients?
We on the fintech side, we've only really been on the link building side of this. We haven't really been on the consultancy side. We haven't really been like building SEO strategies for fintech companies, but we've had a few fintech companies work with us simply for links, where we've basically identified the gaps between their competitors and them, and we've like gone after almost the same sites and tried to just outclass their competitors. So we haven't really been on the consulting side of that, but we've been more on the link building side.
Got it. And in your pitches, while you're pitching the links or maybe a campaign, I would imagine that you might be pitching them a campaign the way Matt Diggity does, or his company used to do, is because I've worked in the past and I've seen that it's like it's a campaign based on like the number of links, maybe, or a package or a pricing in which you can get an estimated number of links, right? You just do not sell per link, right? Of course, that's how we should do it, right?
We sell like between a minimum of 15 and a maximum of 40 links on a month. Yeah. Some clients have come to us with very kind of stringent requirements. So we've had to meet those requirements at that scale. So sometimes that's hard, but I feel like we have a good process behind this now. So we can source very high quality links without too many problems. Yeah.
Got it. And then you have to explain it to the clients that this is how it it is, you gotta get specific numbers so that it's not just you make one link, two link, and it's done. It's you've to gotta maybe choose a system where you get consistent links every month, and that's how we build and do the outreach, because you gotta set up your outreach campaigns, you gotta set up your team to identify the gaps, and then you have to do everything, and then that's how it is, right?
Pretty much, yeah, pretty much. There's this
Yeah.
research phase, and then there's this like outreach phase that comes
Amazing.
shortly after.
Amazing. So what's about SaaS SEO? How is that different? What's your experience on SaaS based companies and working with them?
I would say like SaaS companies are they're very the ones that we've worked with have had a good knowledge of SEO generally.
Mm-hmm.
We've
Mm-hmm.
supported them again with links. We supported
Mm-hmm.
like a very new kind of SaaS payments processing company
Mm-hmm.
when it first began with SEO strategy and consulting and also links, and we managed to rank this
Mm-hmm.
website
Mm-hmm.
pretty decently in the UK at that time. And then when it expanded into other geographical regions, like we just continued serving this company with links. But I think one of the main thing that SaaS websites need to get right is basically, yeah, the both content and also like
Mm-hmm.
things like comparison pages, pricing
Mm-hmm.
pages, and all of this kind of stuff. Like this is really valuable content on a SaaS
Mm-hmm.
website. Like having
Mm-hmm.
different kinds of bottom of the funnel content, and that could be like comparison pages between them and their competitors,
Mm-hmm.
pricing articles, or like just standard kind of product pages that are selling the product. So
Got
building
it.
authority around these that's the best strategy there.
Perfect. And in the SaaS, I think the link building is quite different. It's like A to B, B to C. I have seen that you've got to convince them to get exchanged. Like they have to also give links to other SaaS products because you might. I've seen that in SaaS. What is your experience on? You can tell me. What is your experience on
It's
link building
definitely
in
like a
SaaS?
trend. It is a trend in the SaaS industry where like people just
Mm-hmm.
sell SaaS backlinks, and they've got all of these
Mm-hmm.
different kind of SaaS websites, all of these different products. They kind of like negotiate links between them. That's definitely one way of doing it, and it makes sense. The SaaS product, SaaS website, all of this kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, just traditional link building of like high authority sites is also good for a SaaS brand.
Correct.
There
Correct.
should be some element of that crossover between SaaS companies,
Crossover. Yes.
but it has to also look natural, right? So you can't just
Yes.
create a link profile made up of all of these kinds of similar sites. It will just look a little bit too gamed.
Now let's talk about a more holistic approach on SaaS, because I just two questions on that. That if there's a SaaS product which is just developed, and do you believe in listing that up in websites like Product Hunt, AppSumo, something like that? Do you think that we should list our websites, or maybe AppSumo is a very different kind of scenario, but to get the initial traction, to get it out of in front of the people, especially B2C SaaS products. What is your experience and what do you believe in that
I
case?
think there's some very good like SaaS directory sites that are
Mm.
really important to get
Mm.
listed on from the
Oh.
B2B and the B2C world, in both of these worlds, that
Mhm.
can provide an initial kind of boost to a brand new
Mhm.
SaaS site. So I think it's important, yeah, SaaS directories.
I'll give you an example. I am investor in a SaaS company. It's a very good product. It's Jolt. So it is like a productivity app. It helps you reduce your screen time. It's
Okay.
backed by science and all that stuff, and it's amazing actually. That is why that was the first reason I actually was willing to invest in that. Give me an example that if there's a company, there's a product, it's based on iOS, and it's helping you reduce your screen time. It's helping you be more productive. It's helping you with all this stuff. What would be the roadmap of marketing?
So obviously, like topical authority across all of these pain points that you've just described, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
So you'd have to identify a number of different pain points that are related to this product and what this
Mhm.
product solves, and then split those into actual like areas, and then
Mhm.
create a topical map that answers these areas and connects
Mhm.
them to a landing page where it can happen. But I think the topical map would be one of the most important things, like creating a
Mhm.
topical map with semantic SEO principles,
Mhm.
that this is going to
Mhm.
be one of the most important ways that you can scale like this kind of site in
Correct.
now. Yeah.
Correct. And for link building and PR, I think the approach of similar approach which we use in the law firms, that kind of statistical approach, mentioning the stats and mentioning like we've hired good actually medical background people who can talk about the effects of screen time and all that stuff. People who are authoritative to speak on this, if mention all these things in the website and articles, and it is backed by science and medical knowledge, then I think it would also make sense in getting the links on that, right? Something like that,
Absolutely.
maybe. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And let's talk about the mindset. I think that's also very important to discuss the mindset. So, first thing, how do you keep your performance high and keep your team's performance high when we talk about fully remote setup you have? How do you do it?
So I have like people who manage these processes. So yeah, I have people who manage these processes and also manage parts of the team. And generally, like I feel like giving people like space and freedom, but making sure that they understand what they need to do has been one of the main things, you know, because people have that time, but they understand that they have to deliver, and everything is tracked, and you know, everything is basically like we're on a loop. So I feel like the freedom aspect of working with my agency is probably one of the most attractive things, and also like the growth aspect. Like as the agency grows, everyone will grow with it. So this kind of thing. So this is how it's been built so far. And I think like people are generally pretty happy. Like we've worked together for so many years now, and it's essentially been the same team. So I think we're quite happy.
Perfect. Very good answer. Okay. So I was actually researching. My team specifically told me that you've been actually doing something journaling in on Fridays, right? Reflecting the whole week that of what have you done, what needle shifters was happening, what moved the needle, what was a waste of your time.
Right.
So what worked, what did not work. So can you tell me something on this? Because I do a similar thing. I wanted to take your perspective on this.
Well, what we do is on Fridays, me and one of my SEO managers will have like a call. We'll discuss like what's working with each client, what's not working, what we need to do a little bit better with, who's performing on the team, like who is basically like slacking a little bit, like how can we empower this person to get back in, and this kind of thing. So I feel like we have kind of reflective calls at the end of every week, and we kind of like sum up everything that has been going on, and we think of new ways that we can get in front of audiences and this kind of thing on Rank and Rent, and also just on personal branding. And yeah, like I mean, as a product of these calls, like I've started making more kind of Instagram content nowadays and TikTok content and this kind of thing. I'm also going more into the video side of things myself. I'm trying to find my voice there. So yeah, I think that this is all a product of these reflective calls that happen every Friday between me and a few other team members. We're always, the thing that I like about the people I work with is that we have each other's backs in the way that we want to push each other to improve.
I would say that this really works. It's a game changer for us. We actually do it every morning. We do stand-up calls, like 10, 15 minutes call with every department. So we have multiple departments, development, SEO, ads. So like I cannot do everything. So there are managers who are doing stand-ups in like morning. Everybody is, initially we thought it's a waste of time, but actually it's so much productive. Like it's like what we have to do. Like it's like a morning charge for us. And on the weekends, Saturdays or maybe Fridays, what we do is that we do not, because mostly our clients are not working on Saturdays, right? So in Saturdays, it's a very ease down environment where we just talk about the growth, different side of things, and we talk about like this, especially journaling, like what has worked. Like this is a reality check for me. I've seen for the team as well. If you're just constantly working, it's a loop, it's a dilemma. You don't know what worked, what not worked. So it's a reflection. You sit back, you talk to people. So we did this. This was the whole week. So I write it like what was the highlight of the week? What was the highlight of a specific day? And then we come to know, oh, in this whole week, Thursday was the most productive and Monday was a complete waste. And one client we closed, and this was the major revenue thing which I got in this month. And this was a podcast which we did, which was really helpful. Like how much knowledge we gain, how much revenue we gain, how much relationships we build, and what was the complete waste of time, and then we try to next week adjust things according to. So this is very much important, I think,
Quite similar.
in my journey as well. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now let's do the last rapid fire round. Okay, you don't have to think. You cannot think on anything. You just have to speak. One SEO mistake businesses must stop making.
I think like investing less on generic blogging and more on building authority around bottom of the funnel landing pages. I think that there needs a bit of a shift in that. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. Okay. One must use tool for more productivity.
I would say like any kind of automation platform that you're comfortable with. So Make is good for if you're not very techy, and NA10 is good, like learning how these tools work and importing workflows to them that you can find for free all over the internet, and learning how these work and see if you can like improve like your processes with them. I think it's a powerful thing to do right now.
Perfect. One book that shaped your mindset.
I like Alex Hormozy generally. Like I'm a big follower of what he's up to. So
Okay.
yeah, books by Alex Hormozy and his methods are good. Like the $100 million offer book is very good in like how to pitch your offer and this kind of thing. I think if you're an entrepreneur and if you're a business owner, like he's one of the people who can give you some good insights into how to scale. Yeah.
One tip for delegating tasks effectively.
Systems, basically. You need people managing things. Like if you actually want to scale, like you gotta, at my agency I'm more on the business development side of the company now. So having systems and people who know what's expected and what they're doing is one of the biggest kind of things that you can do.
One bold prediction in SEO for 2026 or maybe ahead.
Bold prediction for SEO. It all depends what happens when AI browsers come out. I'm really interested to see what happens when AI browsers come out, because we don't really know properly what they're going to look like yet. There's probably going to be a few different UX choices there. So really understanding how they come out, and there's going to be a lot of new players. It's not just going to be a Google browser. There'll be someone you've never heard of come out with a browser, and it's amazing and it does all sorts of things. So yeah, knowing how that will be the next frontier. Like, how does search go from being something that we're using all of these tools that we already know, but the next tool, what is that going to look like?
Correct. I've been using Comet for a while. It's a very initial phase, but I think that's opening up of many new things. Okay. One mindset shift business owners need in 2025 in digital landscape. Any opinion you want to give?
Yeah, I think that like a lot of people are worried about like what's happening, right? But I think that I feel like actually just relaxing and understanding that there will be opportunity in all of this madness is like a powerful place to actually be if you're a business owner. There were times when I was worrying earlier in the year when, websites were failing and all this kind of stuff. But then taking a step back and understanding how to refine strategies and understanding that you shouldn't be scared of what's happening. You need to just make it work and understand how you can hack it again. Yeah.
Amazing. Okay. The last question to this is, where can listeners connect with you and learn? So if anyone wants to connect, maybe for work or maybe anything, how can people connect with you?
Connect with me on Instagram and on LinkedIn. I will send you my links and you can
Yes, we'll add in the description. Amazing. And thank you so much, Armen. It was amazing. It was one of the best knowledge nuggets podcast where we did talk about actionable things, the mindset, the people, your team, your productivity, your everything. I think it was a very power packed podcast, and I like your energy, and I'm very much interested to meet you again very soon. Thank you so much. I'll shut off the recording, and thank you, audience, for being till the end. Please do not forget to subscribe and like. Thank you.
Thank you for sticking till the end of the conversation with us. We hope you found as much value as we did while creating it. If you enjoyed the podcast and want us to bring more such influential guests, then please don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. Honestly, each like and subscribe help us keep going. It keeps us motivated to make such content which is filled with insights and valuable knowledge for you. We'd love to hear from you in the comments. Anything you would like to tell us about the podcast? Whom do you want to see in the next podcast? And what kind of questions do you want to ask? And hey, just don't keep the conversation with yourself. Share this podcast with at least one person, can be a friend, colleague, or a family member or anyone you think can benefit from learning something valuable or getting a fresh perspective. After all, one conversation, one perspective can truly change someone's life. And thank you for tuning in. We'll see you in the next episode of the Business Playbook by Gundeep.